Path of Exile 2 is doing a free weekend starting on August 29th, and at the same time they're dropping a major update adding a lot of content, including a new story chapter with tons of new enemies and bosses, a major rework of the skill system, many quality of life changes and buffs to pretty much every single class. We'll tell you everything you need to know here. You can check out the free weekend and the game via the link in the video description. Thanks to Path of Exile 2 for sponsoring the video, and let's get into it. And one of the biggest new additions of the third edict update, as it's called, is totally the new campaign story chapter. You'll board a ship and travel to an island archipelago where you hunt down the remnants of an ancient weapon with the help of the mysterious Doriani. What's really cool is that you're free to go to these islands in any order, so you can pick if you want to explore beautiful beaches, traverse dangerous volcanic shores, or meet with one of the many tribes that live in this new region of the map. In total, chapter 4 of the story adds over 100 new monsters, 16 new areas and 12 new bosses, but it doesn't stop there. In order to smoothen your progression to the end game, 3 new interlude story acts are also being added to the game. In case you don't know, previously you had to play through the available 3 story acts twice to reach the end game, one regular run and one on the cruel difficulty that unlocks upon your first completion. But with the 4th story act now being added, doing 2 full story runs would take too long. So cruel difficulty is being removed, and instead there are now 3 new mini chapters that take place after the new story act that will help you level and gear up before you reach the endgame. These interlude chapters take place in familiar regions of the world, but contain 6 to 7 new maps to play in, new story content to discover, and 4 new bosses per chapter for a total of 12. And while these interlude chapters will be removed once story acts 5 and 6 are added to early access, the bosses and maps you encounter here will still reappear in the endgame, so they won't be lost forever. But yeah, that should make reaching the endgame a better experience, and there's another big change that will help you get there much quicker. And I mean that quite literally, as this new update is also adding a sprint feature to your character. It's available on every class, and you activate it by holding down the dodge button, which lets you transition from a roll immediately into a sprint. Just like rolling, there's no limit to how much you can sprint, but you do want to be careful. If a monster hits you while sprinting, you will trip, leaving you very exposed to danger. So it's mostly useful to navigate an area more quickly when you are outside of combat, although skilled players can also use it to disengage, as there aren't many monsters that are quicker than you while you are sprinting. In general, it should help you clear maps much quicker so you can reach the endgame that much faster. And real quick, leave a like if you enjoyed the video so far and subscribe for more content like this. Now, while this new update does not add a new class to the mix, the existing 7 classes have all seen some significant buffs, and in many cases they've received some new skills as well. Take the Ranger for example, who now has access to the Mirage Archer skill. This leaves a duplicate of yourself when you dodge roll, which fires a skill of your choice. Ice attacks for the Ranger have also seen a general overhaul to make them more useful, allowing for more build variety. Warriors have seen many fire skills upgraded, and there are 2 new fire skills that look very exciting. Forge Hammer throws a molten hammer that can either be recalled to you like Mjolnir or detonated with a Warcry ability to create a spiral of flames. It's also great to combo with Ancestral Cry, which adds a fire effect to all of your attacks, and every step you take is able to trigger volcanic fissures created by skills like Forge Hammer, so you can use it to deal massive damage if you stack multiple of these on top of each other. The Mercenary will feel much better to play, as many of the movement impairments posed by reloading and using skills have been lowered or completely removed, meaning the class should feel a lot snappier to play. And for my grenade build, I am really looking forward to the new Mortar Cannon, which gives you access to a turret that fires a grenade of your choice. The Hunters will really enjoy a big change to blocking and parrying, as every attack, bar a few marked by a red marker, is now blockable, so it should feel a lot more consistent. Witches have added synergies between their minions, like Brutes now being able to detonate frozen enemies, which makes them perfect to pair with Frost Mages, who can now give your other minions frost armor. The Raise Spectre skill that allows you to capture and use the soul of any monster to fight alongside you has also seen some significant buffs, as well as a lowered spirit cost. The Wind Element skills for monks have been significantly improved, but even more exciting is a new keystone node on the passive tree called Hollow Palm. This allows you to ditch your quarterstaff and fight hand to hand, increasing your offensive stats based on your evasion rating and energy shield. And finally, the Sorceress is now rewarded for combining multiple spell types at once. Many spells can drop elemental infusions, which you can then spend on other skills to empower their effects. So for example, drop a Frost Bomb, grab the Ice Infusion, and then cast Spark to enhance the electric electric projectiles with a freezing effect. Some spells, like Firestorm, can even be affected by multiple infusions in a single cast, allowing you to summon a devastating storm of ice, fire and lightning. Next to all the new content, the Third Edict update will also introduce some big changes to existing systems that will make build crafting even more fun. The support gem system is receiving a massive overhaul to make it even more flexible. Just like before, each skill can be modified by a variety of support gems that change their behavior, but you could only ever have one of each support gem slotted in your entire loadout. That limit is now being removed, which means many new options are now viable. To give a simple example, with the new update I can now buff my grenade build Mercenary by giving every grenade skill the scattershot support to add more projectiles rather than only having it on my main damage dealer explosive grenade. There are also more tiers of support gems now, 5 instead of 3, with some tiers containing higher level variants of existing gems that improve stats or add new effects on top. And if you're really looking to grind for something special, there are also 40 plus lineage support gems being added to the game with this update. Think of these as unique or legendary versions of a support gem, adding a singular unique effect that can have a big impact on how a skill works. Take Ratha's Assault for example, which when added to a crossbow skill means you now refill ammunition by rolling rather than performing a reload animation. Just like unique items, these are very rare and some can only be found by defeating specific bosses or enemies, including some of the rare enemies and bosses that show up as part of the new Abyssal League. And speaking of which, that's another big piece of content for this Third Edict update. To quickly explain, leagues are seasonal content and you have to make a new character to play in a league and access the new content. Once the league ends, any character in it will be changed to a regular character, so you won't lose them or their items. But you definitely want to access this league content as it offers unique enemies, bosses and, as I just mentioned, rewards. When playing in the Abyssal League, you'll see these fissures appear when you're exploring the maps, and by killing monsters near them, they will close and cause the new abyssal enemy type to appear. Closing all fissures opens up a massive pit, unleashing even more and stronger abyssal creatures, but after defeating them, you are rewarded with an abyssal trove full of rewards. What's really cool is that the power of the monsters you slay near these fissures will actually be absorbed by the abyssal. So if you slay a rare mob near it, its modifiers will be absorbed by the abyssal, and sometimes it might even be altered to make them even more dangerous. There are even special bosses that can spawn from these pits if you kill a boss enemy near it, so this league will definitely lead to some challenging combat encounters. But there are also some amazing new rewards you can earn, like ancient pieces of bone that you can use to inscribe new modifiers to your items. These are actually written in a runic script that needs to be deciphered, so you need to travel to the new Well of Souls in Act 2, throw them into a vortex of souls, and then you are able to pick from multiple modifiers to add to your item, giving you a lot more flexibility than Exalted Orbs would. Late game, you'll even get to see some mods show up that normally don't appear on items, so there is a reason to keep grinding for these ancient bones too. And if you're really lucky, you might even find a Finger of the Lich, which allows your character to jump into the Well of Souls, although we don't know yet what's waiting for us at the bottom. There are some great general changes as well, like a significant buff to the evasion and armor stats that should make certain classes a lot tankier. The passive tree has also been heavily expanded with over 100 new nodes, including exciting keystones like the Hollow Palm that I mentioned earlier, and the quality of life improvements even extend outside of combat, as trading has also seen a big change that has been a long time coming. Previously, you had to wait for someone to respond and connect with you in order to buy their items, but the new update adds a special NPC to your hideout that allows you to list an item, set the price, and allow other players to buy it from you even while you're offline or doing something else in game. And there's of course even more in this update, like new unique items and upgrade materials, and you can expect even more content in future updates. There are still 2 full story acts in development, and new classes are also in the works, with the Druid likely being the next one to be released. And if all of this got you excited, make sure that you play the game's early access for free during the free weekend via the special link in the video description. It starts on August 29th and ends on September 1st and is available on PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. There are also unique cosmetics that you can unlock during the free weekend, and progress will carry over to the early access and the full version of the game. Subscribe for more content on Path of Exile, don't forget to leave a like, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!